Let's say we have some images that we've placed into InDesign, and then they're deleted or moved or adjusted. What happens then? Well, unfortunately, we'll have some error. It might show up when you start up the InDesign file, or maybe it's on the links panel right here. If you want to bring that up, go to Window and then Links, or you can click on it from the dock over there if it's over there. So InDesign does not embed images in the same way that, say, a PowerPoint or a Microsoft Word file does. This is to keep the InDesign file smaller and more reasonable size. If it included the data of all those images, it'd be a huge file. So we want to make sure any photos or other graphics or elements like that that we place in InDesign are not then deleted or moved after we place them in. So it's helpful to keep them organized in a folder, for example, because they're not part of the InDesign file. They're just embedded on the page, but they're still linked. I'll show you what I mean. In the support files, under Poster and then Photos, one of the photos we have here, let's just select this one here, and we can tell that's drink.jpg because it highlights once we select it. So this drink.jpg, let's go ahead and just drag that to another folder. I'm going to move it to the desktop temporarily. Now I come back over here, and all of a sudden we have this question mark. It says missing. Double click to relink. So if I double click that, now I can tell it where it is. So I would go to the desktop and relink it. Now I don't want to do that. I want to actually have it in that same folder, so I'm going to move that back in there. And now I'm going to come back in here, and now it's fixed. So either we need to move that image back into the original folder, or tell InDesign where it is if we moved it. So that's a missing link. The image was either deleted after it was placed, unfortunately. Then you just have a low-res, somewhat pixelated preview of the image and not the actual high-res, high-quality image there in the layout. So the images are either deleted or moved, and InDesign does not know where they are, so we need to show InDesign where they are. Another possible error we'll have in the links panel is an edited linked image. So for example, we have food.jpg open from the support files. We could make any kind of edit here. We could resize it. We could add a filter in Photoshop. We could add a sharpening effect. We can do a color or lighting adjustment. We can crop it. Any of those things is going to tell InDesign, well, this is an adjusted file. So if I go to image size, and we see this is kind of a low res. It is 60.2 megabytes, but it's only 72 pixels per inch, but we don't need 78 inches by 52. So in the support files, I'm actually going to save this anyway, so you don't have to follow along. I'm going to save this as just 8 inches by 5.333. So I'm going to hit OK, we'll zoom in here, pressing Control or Command plus. Now if I go to View and then Print Size, you'll see that's the actual size right there. That's fine. So I'm going to go to File, Save, and then save this, high quality. And now back in InDesign, instead of the question mark where it's a missing link, where either the photo was moved or deleted, it has this warning sign, modified double click to update. So if I double click it, it'll update and it still should be fine in this example. Now if I did a color adjustment, you could tell the difference. Once I double click on that, it would change there. So besides double clicking here, we can also select one of these and tell InDesign where the image is by relinking here as well with this chain link icon. We can also go to the link. Well, this is just a one-page document, so we'll be going over pages pane a little bit, but let's just say we were on page 5. You don't have to follow along with this just to see how this works. And I can click on food.jpg, just click on the hyperlink. That's telling me that it's on page 1. And then it navigates to there for us. Same thing as if we were on, say, page 4, and then instead of clicking this hyperlink, I can just click right here. That's another way to navigate to it. It says go to link, and it'll highlight it there. We can see it's selected. And if you have some elements in your library, from Creative Cloud libraries, we can also relink it from there if we have that in our library instead. And yet another way to relink is you can click this top right-hand corner and go to relink. And you can also go to link and so on. And another way is if you have a missing link, you can actually click the icon in the image. I'll show you what I mean. Let's just bring meals to the desktop temporarily. And then right now it's got a question mark, not only here on the links panel, but also on the image itself. So I can click that and relink to it. I'm just going to move that back. And another helpful function of this panel is if I right click and then go to Reveal and Explore, and similar to Mac as well, it'll open up the window that we have that image or that linked graphic. So that's an easy way to find those images that we've placed into InDesign. Later in the course, we'll be packaging an InDesign file that will include all the placed photos as well as fonts and other elements in the package that we would send to a printer besides the PDF. So again, be sure to not delete or remove any images or other graphics that we've placed into InDesign files because they did not become part of the InDesign file itself. They're still linked embedded images. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next lesson.